This morning I was cruising through like I do, and these two verses of Psalm 67 struck out to me because uh, it reveals the belief and an undeniable faith that David had in the coming of Jesus Christ. It's Psalm 67. I'm going to read verses 1 and 2. God be gracious to us and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us, that your way may be known on the earth, your salvation among all nations. And we know that this is Jesus that he's talking about, that he's asking for God to make the prophecy become reality, because he says cause his face. He's talking about Jesus's face to shine upon us, and then your salvation among all nations. Christ is the salvation of all. And Christ, you know, did come to earth through a virgin. He let us know and showed us how to live for God. Now, we're not able to do it sinlessly like Christ did, because Christ came from heaven. He didn't come from man. Whereas we, are natural born men and women, and therefore inherit our sinful natures from our uh, from our folks, ergo through Adam and Eve, because of their original rebellion against God when they took a bite of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But this is just another example of David knowing and believing of Jesus Christ and his coming. Because he's also made reference to um, talking about, you know, my Lord sitting next to my Lord, which is another prophecy and reverence that David had of Jesus Christ. In that case, sitting at the right hand of God, which Jesus is, of course, sitting at the right hand of God right now, waiting for God to instruct him to come again and collect all the believers and bring them home. But it's just amazing how David's belief um, in the prophecy of Jesus was so strong and so real for him that he asked God for it to become a reality. And it wasn't not just for himself or his people, it was so that Christ can share God's ways among every nation on the entire earth. David wasn't just looking at the small piece of real estate that's uh, Judah and Israel. David was looking at the grand picture, at the big picture. That no nation anywhere on earth would not uh, get to hear the salvation of God through Jesus Christ. That was David's asking desire of God. Was for him to fulfill the prophecy that he gave Eve, that her seed shall crush the head of the snake. You know, this is one of the many reasons why God had said that David is a man after his own heart. David believed and understood without seeing and without knowing when Christ was come. But he never doubted, he never faltered, and he continually referred to Christ. And like here, he actually asked God to bless the earth with his face upon the peoples, so that he may teach us about God's ways. And David calls calls Jesus the salvation among all the nations, because that is what he is and that is what he did. So that, I love you guys. You have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow.